Now, in our Make Spheres class, we're going to first of all make a reference to the prefab, the template, the blueprint that we want to copy many, many times. Now, that is a game object. So we define a variable as a game object variable, and we'll call it the sphere prefab. And what we're going to want to do is, at the start, we're going to want to create this in the scene, and that's called instantiating. So start, we want to instantiate the sphere prefab, and there are two more arguments that you need to provide. You need to tell it where it's going to be instantiated and what rotation it should have when it appears. Now, we don't really care about the rotation, but we do sort of care about the position. So let's for the moment instantiate it at 0, 0, 0. No, actually, let's put it a little bit above 0, 0, 0. So if we go 0F, 4F, 0F, that's sort of where we were used to having it, isn't it? We had it on a sort of 0, 0 for the X and the Y, and 4 for the Y. And then what we need to do is say what rotation it's going to have. Now, rotation is actually quite tricky. There is a nice little shortcut that basically says you don't care, which is that you just say transform dot rotation, and then that will satisfy the requirements of the function. So let's save that, and what we want to happen is that when we go into play mode, we want that script to run. Now at the moment, if I go into play mode, nothing's going to happen because there's nothing telling that script to run. We need to attach the script to something that's already in the scene. We could put it on the box, we could put it on the camera, we could put it on the light, but convention is that you make an empty game object anywhere, and in the middle is good enough, and you call this some sort of master controller. This is place for scripts, really, place for scripts in this scene. And I'm going to add to it the component make spheres. I could have just dragged make spheres onto it, but I just showed you a different way of doing that. So what should happen is that we should get a sphere being generated at the middle at 0, 0, 0. However, although I've told everything here is fine, the instantiate command knows what to look for. We need to tell the script that we've put on the empty game object where to find that sphere prefab. So to do that, I have to make this public, and then when I save that and go into Unity, you'll see now that the make spheres script in the inspector is actually saying it's expecting some link to the sphere prefab. So I'm going to drag that sphere prefab into there. Now when I press play, what I hope will happen is that at 0, 4, 0, we'll get the sphere. Let's see what happens. There it is, and it immediately starts bouncing around. So that's good.